Hey guys, and welcome back to AFI. I'm Maddie, and in today's business tip video, I will be going over fragrance usage levels. Before we talk about percentages and specific products, it's important to mention that your fragrance usage will largely depend on your budget. A higher budget will allow you to use more fragrance in your products, whereas a lower budget may mean you have to use less fragrance or cut your fragrance. For example, if your budget is lower, you'll either have to use less of an expensive fragrance or more of a cheap fragrance. This will play a large role in how you determine usage levels in your products. Let's get into the fragrance percentages for specific products. Starting off with candles, the fragrance percentage is about 5 to 7% on average, but you can go all the way up to 10%. You can increase your percentage over 10%, but you will start having problems such as leaking and fragrance bleeding out of your candle. Next, let's move on to soaps. With soaps, the most important thing to keep in mind are IFRA limits. A good range for usage level in soap is 2 to 5%. Increasing the percentage will cause problems along with potential skin irritations. So, 2 to 5% is a good range when starting. However, if the IFRA limit for the specific fragrance is 1%, you must go by the IFRA limit percentage and do not exceed 1%. For personal care products such as deodorants, hair care, and lotions, the fragrance usage level would be about 0.5 to 1%. The reason for this is personal care products will stay on your skin. This will prevent any issues with fragrances staying long-term on the body. For things like potpourri, dry flowers, and cinnamon brooms that would be sprayed or misted, the fragrance usage percentage ranges from about 5 to 15%. With perfume, the percentage is going to be about 20 to 30% fragrance. With cologne, we usually like to use about 15. The only reason for this is usually women prefer stronger fragrances, while men don't like their cologne smelling too strong. For incense products, the fragrance usage percentage can be up to 50%. The other 50% will be DPG. There is not a limit to how much can be used, it's just as much as will be absorbed into the product. For things like floor cleaners and multi-purpose cleaners, you're looking at a fragrance usage level about 0.5 to 1%. However, you can use more if you want. If you are buying a fragrance that has already been cut to make it water soluble, then you can use about 3%. With water-soluble air fresheners, you typically want to use 5 to 10% fragrance. For oil-based air fresheners, you can use up to 100% of straight fragrance oil. If you have something like an air freshener that is oil-based, but you want to cut the fragrance oil yourself, you would want to use about 30% of fragrance oil with 70% surfactant or carrier oil. When it comes to laundry, whether it be liquid or dry powder, you will want to use about 0.5 to 1% fragrance oil. If you want it for liquid already made and you are adding fragrance at the back end, then use 3% as it'll have to be cut. This covers most of the products we use on a day-to-day basis. These are just our general levels. If you are wondering if you can use higher fragrance percentage usage on other products, the answer is yes. It all depends on your base. If your base stinks, you would have to use more fragrance. If your base does not have a smell or if it just smells good, you can use less fragrance. I'm Maddie, and I hope you all found this video helpful. And if so, be sure to give us a like and subscribe to see more business tip ideas. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact our customer service department, and they'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thanks for visiting AFI, and see you next time. Bye.